Israel. This is the ISUPK, Las Vegas, and we started out at 1 West, 125th Street in Harlem, New York, and we are under Commanding General Yohana. And we always are waking up all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to this wisdom and knowledge that the Bible has to offer. Um, it's imperative that our people, man, take the time out to get to understand that you can't get through anything in this life that we live without the Most High, man.
Right.
You're gonna have some good days, you're gonna have some bad days, but for the most part, to be on a consistent level of, you understand, of not necessarily success, but just a consistent level of, where you're not suffering the same things that people in the world is suffering. It's gonna take that relationship that only brotherhood, sisterhood, and these scriptures can provide, man. You're not gonna be able to do anything on your own. Once again, you will have success. You will have some short-term success, but when we're talking about generational success, when we're talking about, you understand, eternal success, it's all dependent on your loyalty and obedience to the Most High.
Right.
Us as a people, we are suffering because we are believing anything. You understand? We put our hope in Joe Biden. Not us in the school, but the majority of the black people. We put our hope in politicians. You've tried to vote your way into salvation, and it's not working. Not only is it not working, but your children now are able to change their gender and start out as little boys and become little girls. You understand? This is what Joe Biden has offered our people. You understand? And if y'all could do me a favor, make sure y'all like and share the class for me, please, Baba Kasha. But yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is no matter what we think we know, it's never enough knowledge for you to feel as if you don't need the Most High, man. I don't care if you graduated Princeton, Harvard, Yale, whatever you think you've obtained the highest degree of knowledge. It does not matter. You still need to tap into this knowledge that comes from this Bible, man. And as you can see, we're not talking about individual success. We're not talking about just temporary monetary gain. We're not talking about none of that. That's good. It's good, money is a defense. You understand it? And get that scripture for me if you could, Baba Kasha. Pull that for me. Look it up. Where it says money is a weapon. And it also talk about that other weapon as well. I'm going to go ahead and share the post as well. Let me get this in the chat, the sign-in sheet. Make sure y'all sign in so y'all can get attendance credit to all these classes. Read it when you got it out.
God, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 12. For wisdom is a defense.
Wisdom is a defense, man. Do it start off with that or do it say?
That's
okay. So it's saying wisdom is a defense, man. Read the whole thing.
God. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
Man, that's so powerful, man. Wisdom is a defense. Money is a defense as well. So nobody's saying go out here and be broke. You know what I'm saying? Don't be broke.com. They got that out here. That's the thing that we see out here in Vegas. But nobody's saying go out here and be broke. Get you some money. But are you going to compromise your whole salvation trying to chase a dollar? You understand? Are you going to do anything for money? You're going to compromise your integrity of your brotherhood, your sisterhood for some change. Don't be simple-minded. Use these things to your advantage. However, make sure you keep the Lord first, man. It didn't put the Salaki. It didn't. It's okay. Maybe I don't. I put it in the little box, whatever y'all had up there. Huh?
The signage.
Nah. Nah. He talking about something else. It should, but I don't know why. It's not. You can't click on the link. I was able to click it. All right. I don't see it though. I was saying.
Yeah, I don't even see.
Yeah, it says no longer accepting responses. So I don't know. As far as the sign in, don't even worry about it. We probably maybe need a new link or something. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so like I was saying, man, read that again from the top for me, Baba Kashab.
Oh God, for wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense.
Right?
But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it.
What does that mean when it say wisdom give life to them that have it? How can wisdom give you life? A rock.
Well, because wisdom is begins with the fear of the Lord, and so that wisdom is, the law, statutes, commandments, which is what gives us life.
Right? You want to add to it, young man? How can wisdom give you life to those that have it? That's an example. What is something that you know now that you didn't know before? You've been coming to class now. Come on now. You gotta know something. You gotta know something different than you didn't know before.
That all other ideologies are just basically Christian, and that like some of the laws, like how you can't cut into your natural hair, or you can't.
What you mean? Cut into your natural?
You can't.
Okay, round your corner. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that.
That's more of a that necessarily wouldn't be. Well, that is something that you learned that you didn't know for sure. That's keeping the laws. You know what I'm saying? That's not nothing. When you think to add to that, not that it's wrong or anything, but to add to it, you just think we could start with sex is marriage. You understand? No more smoking. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that you learned before that you didn't know, now you can stop putting away women and causing them to become whores, or you being a whoremonger, because now you know you're careful. It's just a trickle down effect. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna realize, you know what? I'm not gonna lay with every woman that smiles or inboxes me or whatever. I'm not gonna lay with them because that potentially is gonna be my wife that I'm supposed to be with for forever. You get what I'm saying? And then you're gonna learn how to choose a woman carefully, and that you won't have problems. You know what I'm saying? A lifelong approach. You think about how many men out here. I know people personally growing up. You know what I'm saying? Has lost their life due to some infidelity moment, or some adulterous moment that they lived in, whether it be a guy sleeping with another man's girl and the guy finds out and kills him, stuff like that. Whether it be also a man not wanting to have a baby, you know what I'm saying, with a girl and things like that. Like, these type of things happen every day from us not having the wisdom. Two people, people losing their lives and making horrible decisions based on you thinking I'm just having fun. And we're just talking about sex, you know what I'm saying, sexually, from the HIV to the STDs. You know how many women and men walking around with goddamn herpes, you know what I'm saying? So like, from, that's what it is. I like it. Just from, you know what I'm saying, from them wanting to have fun and lay with the first woman that he wink at him at a nightclub, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, and just wanting to lay with the neighborhood whore, you know what I'm saying? And that's just something that as brothers in this school and this truth, man, we got to use our wisdom and our discretion, man, to learn to be disciplined when it comes to the choices we make. Sis, you got a point?
So since the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom, And the greatest wisdom anybody can have is to obey the statutes, laws, and the commands of the Most High.
Mhm.
And you don't have to worry about all those things you were talking about, sales.
Right, yeah.
You don't have to worry about any of them, as long as you obey the statutes, the laws, and the commands of the Most High.
Yeah.
Greatest wisdom we could have.
And the thing about, and it's definitely that, and we want to get deeper, right? We can easily, anybody can read the law, right, and just obey a law. But you got to apply the law in a practical manner. You get what I'm saying? So when you, even let's say you back to what we were talking about, choosing a woman, and you lay with a woman, just because you courted her, you know what I mean, and waited on some time, and you plan on not throwing her away, I don't mean you don't go get an STD check. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean you don't question things. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say you want to apply it in a practical manner. You know what I mean? You want to still do your due diligence. We don't tempt the Lord to say, save me. All right, I'm out here. I'm an Israelite, so I'm going to just, Ross Slosky everything. You know what I'm saying? Just coming through the gate. You want to do your due diligence. You know what I'm saying? Take your time, be patient, go through your checks and balance. But when we talk about this wisdom, we want to apply everything that we're learning to everyday life. You know what I'm saying? That's why when the Bible says we're going to live once we obtain this knowledge and use this wisdom, it's because you're going to be a person that's going to know how to make rational decisions, practical decisions. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be able to stir yourself away from danger because you're not going to hang in certain areas. You're not going to hang with certain people. You'll be able to change your whole environment based on your new mentality. You understand? Like when you learn something, it's just like, when people are younger, you're more active, you're trying things, you don't know as much. Even the knowledge of the world, you don't know as much. But once you become an older person, typically you've experienced more. But our goal is to not have to experience everything. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have to go through everything and just be beat up by the time you're 35 and 36 like I am. You know what I'm saying? And just been through, so many different things, so many things I haven't been through, but still, you want to go through as much as not go through as much as you can, and just learn from other brothers, learn from your brother, learn from me, learn from other brothers in the school, sit around them, hear these stories, and don't have to learn the hard way. And that's what our wisdom is geared towards, us not finding out the hard way. People in the world and Christians and stuff, they want to hear certain things and read certain things and still go through it because you got to experience it in their world. In their world, experience is the best teacher. That's what they tell you. That's only good for the job field. You know what I'm saying? That's good when you maybe battle tested. Maybe if you're in a war, you want to have experience, right? You want to know how to fight. Maybe something like that, something that ain't kill you. We go through things like that, right, in the school, or we prepare ourselves because we want to have a certain experience level. Some brothers maybe never got into a fight in their life. Some brothers ain't never been into certain things. You know what I'm saying? So to have some experience in that level, that's good. But we talking about drug addiction, whoredom, you know what I mean, homosexuality. You don't want to have to experience. I hope not. Nobody here in this school wants Salakia want to experience any homosexuality to find out. This ain't for me. I don't think I want to be with a man. Like you shouldn't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Salaki. You know what I mean? You should know, like, damn, look at this dude. This dude is, is out of his mind. You know what I'm saying? He's over here switching and twitching and, twerking or whatever. Salaki. You know what I'm saying? And you just look at that and just shake your head like, man, what the hell, man? I'll pray this brother come back or whatever. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be like, I wonder. He look like he's having fun. You know what I'm saying? But that's Christianity. Christianity says experience is the best teacher. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, oh, it's just a little phase he's going through. He'll grow out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because to them, a homosexual experience is something that, it's nothing wrong with that, right? It's nothing wrong with someone trying a little marijuana. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? They don't understand. There's nothing wrong with children having sex and trying out different sexual partners, you know what I'm saying, at a young age. It's nothing wrong. Experience it. Get it out your system before you marry. That's what they teach you. You know what I'm saying? Our knowledge is totally opposite. You're supposed to be sitting at the foot of your elders, at the foot of people who are experienced and learning, who've unfortunately had to go through not necessarily the homosexual things, but some of the other things. You know what I'm saying? And they can tell you, man, I'm so happy to have the truth and prepare a younger brother or sister to not go through these things. Go ahead, sister.
So like you said, just when you were talking about the men, I actually have heard throughout my life, men telling their sons, oh, you know, y'all gotta go sow your wild oats before you settle down. You gotta go sow your wild oats before you settle down. And it's like, I mean, once you come into the truth, then you understand you sowing your wild oats mean you're just making whores out of the sisters of Israel and throwing them in the garbage can.
Right. Yeah.
But I actually heard men, I mean, that was a real popular statement for men to tell the young boys or their son, go sow your wild oats before you get married. You know, make sure that's what you want to do.
No, absolutely. Think about not only that, just you can apply it to all levels. Gang culture. Think about all the young people that grew up in the gang life and then they stuck into it now. Then you have our oppressor perpetuating these lifestyles. We're not gonna mention Lil Nas X and all these people because you know what's on the internet. You know what's in rap music. You know what's on the TV screen. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is our people are destroyed and stuck in these lifestyles, and it's not getting better for us with the masses continuing to indulge themselves and experience these type of, experiences here in America. So this is why it's important for us to be strong and diligent in this truth and don't weather and don't be no goddamn coward, man. You understand? The Lord wants to know who is gonna stand for him, man. Who is gonna let's pull that too, man. Let me see. Let me get that for y'all. But yeah, we don't want to be cowards, man. Ever in this truth, man. Give me a sense Psalms 94 and 16. Let me get that too with y'all. Read it whenever y'all got it. Whoever get it first. Baba Kasha.
No, 94 and 16? Or
Yeah, 94 and 16. Something like it.
Con. The book of Psalms, chapter 94, verse 16. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
Man, the Lord wants to know. This is a question that the Most High is asking blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. Who is going to stand, who will rise up for me against evildoers, man? When you're in this goddamn school, man, and you taking these oaths and you in this truth, putting in his work, the Lord is, that's you trying to show that you're willing to stand up against the evil ones, man, against our people, like the wicked of Israel, meaning bringing them into the fold or showing them their inequity, right? And against our oppressors. We go out there, we the only people that's going to be on these streets calling a white man a goddamn devil, man.
Right.
You understand? Have you ever seen somebody out there saying that, walking down the street, and you seeing a group of black men standing strong, not with no guns in our hand? You understand? Only sword we using is this Bible, man. This is what we using to cast out these demons out of our people. This is what we using to give us the strength to stand up against the evildoers, man. The people that is constantly killing blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. And people hate you for it. They're gonna hate you even more. Your own family is gonna turn against you for you standing up for the Most High against wickedness, and it's gonna cause you. You'll have to do it in your own household. You understand? You love your parents, you love your brothers and your sisters, but they're wicked as hell if they're not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. But you're still gonna have compassion to understand that you were once there, but that don't mean you're gonna just turn a blind eye to what's going on. You understand? You have to be able to stand up. The Lord is asking, who's gonna do it? Who on the earth is willing to put in this work and stand up against the evildoers, man, and the workers of iniquity, man? That's a tough task, man. When they say we look like Power Rangers and superheroes out there on the goddamn corners in camp because of our war apparel and our garments, is because they don't understand we are the superheroes. We are those people that's gonna take those bullets, you understand, and take those beatings to get the message. The Lord knows what he's dealing with, you understand? He knows it takes a special type of man to be able to do this. We're gonna go against those purple Christians, you understand? I don't want to get us banned on Facebook, but we're gonna go against those purple punks, you understand, and stand up against them too, because joining that organization will cause our sisters to get murdered by goddamn Africans, man.
That's right.
It will cause brothers to go in there and want to sleep with goddamn transsexuals, man, joining the IUIC or joining Sakari and their microchip theory and, you know, all these bugged out solutions, you know, fables and stuff that they want to tell about, you know, about the Most High and his knowledge and how they twist the word around, man. You're going to be in these other camps lost. You know what I'm saying? And so many of our people are, man. And they hate us because we stand up, we rise up against the evildoers, man, for the Most High, man. And we stand up for the workers. We stand up for the Most High against the workers of iniquity. That's a tough task. Don't think of it lightly, what you're doing when you join these ranks. You understand? Sisters included. Everything that y'all do is representing the Most High. You out here doing it in the name of Christ and the Most High. You understand? So what you do, you got to be conscious of every move that you make. This is why wisdom is so important, because you're not going to be able to stand up for the Most High with not having the proper knowledge, because you'll fall into some snare or trap. You understand? Like you've done before, you know? Like the general brought out the other day, what good is it that if you learn that you're an Israelite and you still not keeping the law? You're not keeping the Passover. Or you're in the world and you start learning about the Most High only to continue to go against them. You understand? That doesn't make sense. Christianity really has you twisted up to where you feel what separates you as a godly person. If you're supposed to be set apart in this godly person, as Christianity like to call it, what are you doing different than the people that don't believe in God, who don't accept Christ? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
They celebrate Christmas. You celebrate Christmas. They smoke weed. You smoke weed. They sell drugs. You sell drugs. They'll steal. You'll steal. They lay with whores. They're homosexuals. You're homosexuals. What is different about you that makes you special if you in Christianity, or if you're in one of these purple rain party committees? You understand? Or Sakari, or some bugged out Israelite off group. You understand? Who is imitating, you understand, the truth. You understand? What difference are you if you doing these things in these groups, man? Go ahead, sis.
So like, sir, would the one that says let wisdom have her perfect work, would that be one of the precepts that would
Say,
go along?
you gotta pull it. I don't. You paraphrasing?
Paraphrasing.
Do you know where it's at?
I think it's in the Psalms. Let wisdom have her perfect.
Yeah, somebody find it and then we'll read it and just to see, because you don't want to paraphrase something. I can't say if it is or if it's not, depending on it. So anytime you ask a question about a scripture, just have it ready. Look it up, Google it real quick, and then have the brothers read it. All right. But in the meantime, like I say, man, this scripture is powerful, man, because the Most High wants you to come into this knowledge, man. You're not gonna have wisdom. Wisdom, man, is the most important thing that you should think about. It's more important than your scholastic wisdom. Not saying you don't need to know how to count. Not saying knowing how to be a doctor and heal and be a physician doesn't mean anything. Nobody's ever saying that. That's wonderful. You understand? That's something that we need. We need more brothers with skill sets. You understand? We need more sisters with skill sets. But you have to understand there's a balance. And if you had to tip one towards over and one be higher than the other, if there's an unequalness to it or if it's off balance, you want to put the most high above always. You understand? You don't do it the other way around. You understand? You don't put your personal, choices and your lifestyle before the most high. You understand? That's when you start to become destroyed. You understand? Go ahead. Did you?
So like you said, it's let patience have the perfect work. And it's in, I got it twisted up, but it says let patience have her perfect work. And I said James 1:3.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was let wisdom have her perfect
Okay.
work.
That's why I say pull it so we,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We'll know.
So like,
No sweat. That's a good scripture though. It definitely is. Let me get somebody pull for me Deuteronomy 4 and start at verse 5. Baba Kasha.
4 and 5, sir.
Come.
Okay. The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 5. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Uh-huh. Keep going.
Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding.
This is your what?
This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Once again, this is something that we can't get enough of talking about, right? Right now in America, you have our oppressors propping up individuals and misinforming the masses and taking away from this scripture. You understand? Anytime you see, and I don't want to keep giving this dude any light, you see some young brother on TV masquerading as a homosexual and putting it out in his music, and you seeing images of men, doing the same thing. You seeing these black and interracial marriages. All of these things in this land is what we're up against. We got it tough. Don't we think they had it tough back then? Of course, given the conditions, you would always think because you like it's more back then it's a little different, right? It was our oppressor had complete control. But just think of how mighty, how great Moses was of a leader. You understand that the Most High dealt with directly. You know what I mean? I'm not saying our leaders, you know what I'm saying, that we have in this school, the Most High not dealing with directly, or not necessarily directly, but it's not, the Most High ain't dealing with. I would never say that, but I'm talking about if you know the story of Moses and his accomplishments and his achievements, you understand, it wouldn't be done without the Most High, especially choosing that brother to lead over millions of people. You understand? That's a powerful brother giving out instruction. It's almost like you hear from Moses. This is the Most High talking through Moses. You understand? Giving the people the law. Right. So the times that we're living in, I'm not saying, the times we're living in is a walk in the park, but when you think about what we up against and how the deception is so much greater, you understand? Because we're scattered all over. We come from all different walks of life. You got so many things coming at you at once at a young age, tempting you and seducing you. You know what I'm saying? Back then, life probably was a little bit more simpler. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they didn't party. Of course they did. Of course they, indulged in obviously sins, right? Because if that wasn't the case, you wouldn't have had to have the laws written down for us to follow. But the point of the matter is the thing that the life that we're living right now, don't look at it as if, oh man, back in those times, they needed that just for then. You know, that's what Christianity want to teach you. Oh man, those laws are so old. It's just that's what they needed back in those times. No, you need it even more now. You understand? These laws, statutes, and commandments, they hit no different than they did back then. If not, they hit harder because you don't have, like I said, I'm not going to discredit our leaders because we have amazing, great leaders that been risen up to the Most High. But back then, you had Moses who had a direct line with the Most High. You understand? And they still erred. So imagine what you're up against now. You know what I'm saying? Where you don't even have that. Someone who the Most High directed and who's capable of creating a whole structure. You understand? We're following the structure from back then. You get what I mean? Like they had it in its purity when it was first, implemented, written. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine right now, we're trying to get to that level. So all the things that we go through in this world is so much. So the job that you're doing, you're not going to be able to continue it without the proper knowledge. You have to be able to understand. You must read these scriptures. You must pay attention in class. Ask questions. Learn. You understand? And follow the examples of the men before you. That's why in this school they call us a cult, because we do everything the same. We talk the same. We walk the same. We look the same. You understand? And this is the beginning of a nation of people. You understand? This is how you create the kingdom of heaven. It's through repetition. It's through practicing these ancient customs and traditions. That's how we get back to that level with the Most High, where He, is going to give us our salvation. The Lord is not going to give us salvation unless unless we are worthy of it. You understand? We have to earn it. And that's what you're doing. You are part of the people that's putting in the work for the other people to come in later. You understand? You starting it. It's not going to start without you. It's not going to start without you. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to start without us. If nobody's laying down the footwork, what you think? Somebody's just going to wake up one day and, you know what I'm saying, and the kingdom's going to be here when nobody did no work. Nobody did nothing. This is why this wisdom is so important, and why the scripture said in the land that we go, we got to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments forever, because in the sight of these other nations, this is where they can look at us. They're supposed to look at you like when we walk around with our fringes and we walk around with shields and stuff on, and they look at us like, who the hell is those people? What's going on? What are they up to? You know what I'm saying? They supposed to look at you like you something different. You can't. You go outside right now. You don't know who's Christian, who's what, who's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Whatever. You look at them and they all look the same. Right? That's why they call all damn Christians. You understand? Because they all look the same. They all doing the same thing. You know, the Christian pastor, he's gay. The other people, they gay. They all holding hands together. You got the fake Jews, they gay now, wearing the little rainbow yarmulkes, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. So it's all one big gay community. You understand, of people that just profane, and that just want to just do whatever lust that's within inside of them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever demon that tells them to do something, they're gonna follow. We fight demons in here. We follow Yahushua, and we follow the men that Yahushua has risen up to teach us. And that's here in this school in the ISUPK. And we're not affiliated with none of you Christian, demi-Christian organizations, you fake Israelites. We're not associated with none of you. We will never come to a unity camp. We won't walk side by side with y'all, none of that. Because they must know who is who. They got to know the real from the fake.
Right.
Y'all cannot sit with us nor stand with us. And it's important that we preach that, and we teach brothers there's a difference between us and these other camps. Go ahead, Josh.
If I may, one way that you know that these other Israelite groups aren't of Christ and don't follow after Christ is because, first of all, they have the whole unity thing. And that's basically what the Christians do. But
Right.
the Christians will take anybody in, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And then not only that, but like you was just saying, they all blend in together. But then, you know, to take it even a step further, you know, Christ himself has said, I just kind of paraphrase, I believe it's in Matthew, but he said, you know, that he came to create division. And so for the fact that the ISUPK off the rip with all of our videos, how they start off with, you know, we're not affiliated with any other Israelite camp, with actually anybody else, period. That in itself is in the same spirit of Christ, where we are establishing that division. We're not like everybody else.
Right.
You can come into us, but we ain't affiliating with y'all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
And that's
absolutely.
literally what, you know, the spirit of Christ. Like,
No, absolutely. And Christ, along with his disciples, went against the Pharisees.
right.
You understand? Went against the people that were not teaching the same doctrine that Christ taught. You understand?
Right.
So what makes us any different? We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going against these Israelite camps. We're not going to walk hand by hand, side by side with you. We're not into, you know, joining and merging, because think about it. Think about it for a second. Even amongst these fake Israelites, right? Somebody, even though they pretend as if they're together, they still think one is better than the other. They still
Right.
feel like somebody's over somebody.
Just like the Christians.
Yeah, no, facts. You understand? It's always gonna be, you know, you got the fake Israelite groups like the Purple Rain homosexuals. They feel like, well, we got the most numbers, right? So they feel as if, oh, because we got the most, and it's very Christian, you understand, to think of how big their organization is, so therefore the Lord is with them. No, you understand? And we know about the narrow gate and all of that, right? So hold your point real quick. You got the other Israelite camps. They feel like they want to go to the streets and try and, you know, sit amongst the strippers and do all the stuff and try and look cool and accept anything. You could just do whatever in their camps. You understand? There is no organization. They ain't gonna put on purple, but they'll let you, as long as you get you a goddamn fringe on the bottom of a damn jersey for all they care. You understand? You got fringes on a goddamn wife beater, and they gonna, you understand, you know, you with them. So you got all these other people, and they think, well, oh man, we're respected in the streets. But here's the thing, it doesn't matter about any of that. Numbers, whether the people like you the most, if you getting celebrity attention, none of that matters, man. What matters is consistency. What matters is who is keeping the laws the way that Christ did, who is teaching what Christ taught, who is following Christ, who is bringing the nations together, you understand, under Christ, though. Not, you can bring people together, doesn't mean you're under Christ. You understand? Who is teaching this Bible properly in its proper context? And hands down, the ISUPK has been doing it since 1969.
That's right.
Right.
And we're not gonna change, man. We're gonna keep this
Right.
wisdom. We're gonna show these other nations that we're a great and wise people, and we do that on a daily, man. You understand? We've had brothers that's infiltrated the conscious community. We got the generals, you understand, battling the goddamn white supremacists. You understand? We doing everything on the front lines that we're supposed to do. And it's up to you brothers and sisters who's coming into these ranks to uphold that tradition, man, and continue this. You understand? So let's drop that and give me Psalms 111 and 10, Baba Kashaw.
Oh, God. God, the book of Psalms, chapter 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all that, Salaki. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endures forever.
Man. And we know that. We know that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. What does that mean, though? You hear that a lot. What does it mean to fear the Lord and it's the beginning of wisdom? Go ahead.
The fear, basically, like the fear of the Lord's, basically the judgments. So if you do something wrong, like you're afraid of doing something wrong to push the Lord to wrath, essentially to deal with you, and that's the, basically what the fear is. You're afraid of the judgment of doing something wrong.
Right. You want to add anything to it?
Basically,
No, was you done? Go ahead.
So basically, the wisdom that comes out of that is just simply, something simple as not eating pork. Well, you're never gonna have diabetes, high blood pressure, heart issues, it's parasites, the list goes on that comes out of eating pork simply just because of you listen to the wisdom of the Most High, and
Right.
you don't have to find out for yourself, because that in itself is wisdom.
Right. No, absolutely. And not only that, you know what I'm saying? Just like you said, when you're thinking about everything, you're conscious that the Most High is watching everything you do, you're going to make a wiser decision. That's anything you do, right? Let's say you at your job, right? And your boss is standing right there. You ain't finna be goofing off. You ain't finna do nothing stupid. You're gonna be probably have on all your, if you gotta wear PPE, which is, those are working. Yeah, you're gonna have your safety stuff right. You're gonna be, whether you're sweeping the floor, you're gonna do it the way they want you to do it. You're gonna be doing everything right because you know what? You know that supervisor's watching, and if you slip up, that could be your job. You understand? If he don't like you doing, especially if you're the type of person that don't want somebody to tell you what to do and how to do something, you better just do it on your own.
Right.
See, the Most High, he talks to us differently. Like you said, he talks to us within judgment. You don't want to be judged. Just if you keep in your mind that the Most High is watching at all times and that he has, get that found for me where it talks about that he has a record of everything that we do. I want to say it's in Revelation. Baba Kasha, if you can. But yeah, the Most High is watching everything that you do. You understand? It's in the book of life or something like that, where they keep a record of all the things that you've done. But yeah, the Most High, he knows what we don't know about you. He knows how you think, what you're doing, what you want to do. You understand? So it's no point of you trying to go around it and justify what you think is right. Go ahead, sis.
So Lucky, and if you love the Most High like you say you do, we declare that He is our Father. You don't want to hurt Him. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to do something to offend your natural father and mother, bring shame to Him. You don't want to do that to the Most High above all.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. You definitely don't want to disappoint the Most High or fall short. You understand? And it's because the Most High, that's somebody who, you understand, that is somebody that you should never play with. You understand? Did y'all, if you didn't find it, it's okay.
You said it's in Revelation, sir? So like,
It might be in Revelation. I'm not really sure exactly off the top of my head. So lucky.
are you able to paraphrase it at all?
Um,
Like any key words to it? Because I mean, I'm putting in what you do is record it, and then
Right.
I also try to record of everything you do.
let me see.
And I'm not finding anything along the lines of what you're speaking of.
Give me 1 second. Yeah, it's in Revelation 20 and 12, I believe.
Revelation 20 and 12?
Yeah.
Kind of get on.
Go ahead, sis.
So like you, sir, I think I think it's Romans 14, 11, and 12.
Romans
I think that's the one you're
14,
talking about.
11, and 12. Let me see.
I'm at Revelation 20 and 12. You want me to read it, sir?
Let's see. You said, hold on, let me see. Romans 14, what?
It was 14, 11, and 12.
Yeah, that's a good one too, as well. Go read the one in Revelation, though.
Okay. The book of Revelation, chapter 20, verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God, and the books were opened. And another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books, according to their works.
Man, everybody's going to get judged according to their works, man. The dead and the living. You understand? Everything that you've done, and this is not the only one. There's another one that talks about it being recorded. That he has angels that record everything you do. But this one is still showing you that there is a book holding record for everything that you've done in your life. The Most High knows. No matter if you got away with it or didn't get away with it, somebody seen it, didn't see it, the Most High knows. He knows what's going on. Don't think that you got a pass and you're like, oh, thank God, I didn't get that, didn't come back on me. You know what I'm saying? So you in the clear. No. The Most High, he knows. He knows what's going on. He knows whether you are sincere. He knows what, your mentality on how you feel about certain things. The Most High is constantly, you know what I'm saying, in control of what's going on. Did you have a point?
Like I actually had a question because I read the next two verses as well after verse 12, and so the dead, is that speaking about like the physical literal dead, or the dead that we know of as like basically the walking dead, like the people that is in the world right now that are walking around dead, and they'll be judged by their works.
I want to say this is speaking on. I'm not really sure. Actually, I'll ask and find out.
Okay.
I'll find out. Because I believe this is talking about after Judgment Day, like the people that pass, that die. You know what I'm saying?
Because if I may, on verse 13,
spirit,
it goes into, it says, and the sea gave up the dead which were in it. So it's saying like the people, like, is that literally like the sea?
Nah, it's not like water. It's just saying like that's that
metaphor.
For sure is a metaphor, for sure, allegory or something like that.
Okay.
But I'll find out what the dead is for sure on that. But the point of the matter is to show you that the Most High is keeping record. And I'm gonna find that scripture of I had it in one of my breakdowns before. Let me see if I got it. But yeah, so we're gonna drop that. Give me James 1 and 5, Baba Kasha.
James what?
1 and 5.
Oh, Khan, the book of James, chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Yes, anybody who's looking for knowledge, man, all you have to do is ask the Most High. Instead of asking the Most High for for riches and trinkets and a job and all of these things, which is nothing wrong with having these things. Ask the Most High for wisdom. Maybe you'll start your own business. You understand? Maybe you'll go into your own lane. You won't have the oppressor beating down your back.
That's right.
You understand? I want to say in Malachi as well, it talks about the recording. Give me 1 second, I'm looking that up. But you know, this wisdom doesn't just come through, once again, your experiences or just through you reading something. You gotta pray to the Lord and ask Him for wisdom. You understand? This is something that only the Most High, He, as you can see, so like you, when we talk to brothers and sisters, not every brother or sister is gonna respond the same. Not every brother and sister is capable of learning the things that you've learned and believing and having the faith and understanding, right? And we pray that, you know, our brothers and sisters do get this understanding. But this is something that, as you see, you work with your family members and people. You be like, man, for the life of me, I don't understand. I teach them, I tell them come get in class. I don't get how I saw something, I heard and learned about, and I jump right on it. But them, they, you tell them, you live it, you do everything you're supposed to do, right? And they still won't come into this truth, right? Is because you prayed to the Most High, and the Most High answered your prayers. 9 times out of 10, you prayed for the Lord to show you and to reveal to you these things, man. If you like me, because I know I sure know I prayed for knowledge and truth, you understand, and wisdom and understanding. You know, these are things as an Israelite man or woman, you know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you do. You ask for the understanding. If you're uncertain about something, ask the Most High to give you clarity. If it be His will, you know what I'm saying, let it be done. If it don't be His will, then maybe it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? So these are things that you want to always keep in mind, man. Read that from the top too, Baba Kushal.
If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him.
Right. Absolutely. Drop that and let me get Colossians 4 and 5. Baba Kushal.
Khan, the book of Colossians, chapter 4, verse 5. Walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Keep going on.
Yeah.
Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt, that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
Man, this is so key, man. You want to make sure that you walk with a certain manner, man, mannerism, a certain spirit on you, man. You don't want to just walk around and be, you know, lackluster, you're nonchalant, or someone who is easily malleable. You know what I'm saying? That you fall into anything. As soon as somebody tell you some knowledge that you've never heard before, you just run with it and just divulge yourself to it. You know how many people that read up on stuff, that just read stuff, and then you try and tell them about the Most High, the first thing they want to tell you, well, did you read the book of Jubilee or the book of what's the Lulith and all this garbage that people, you know what I'm saying, bring up when you're trying to teach them the oracles of the Most High? You want to walk in the way of knowledge, man, and true wisdom, man. You understand? You always want to speak with speech be with grace and seasoned with salt. Now that doesn't, what does that mean? That doesn't mean that you can't be angry. That doesn't mean it's not a time to stand strong. As you saw brothers at camp in Nashville, it wasn't a time to be diplomatic and be peaceful with people. When people are approaching you with war, you're not gonna always take a angered stance, but when it's a time for that as well. You know what I'm saying? It's a time for you to be strong and be authoritative. Then there's a time for you to be peaceful, soft-spoken. You understand? But just when it talks about being seasoned, You got to know when is the time for either or. You get what I'm saying? There's a time for everything. Pull that in Ecclesiastes. There's a season for everything. A time for everything. A time to hate, a time to love. Pull that from me, man. Because we need to know that when this scripture, this is a precept that because you want it to be seasoned with salt, and you know how to answer every man. Is saying you gotta be reachable. You gotta be, Salaki, what is that? Versatile. You know what I'm saying? Like I might talk to you, young man, a different way than I talk to a rock, right? Because you and him two different levels of understanding. And then we gotta treat our sister different. You know what I'm saying? You get what I mean? You gotta know the difference on who you're talking to. Be able to engage every audience.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people you gotta, you don't come with a straight, firm tone or approach to everybody. Just be monotone and just the same way with everybody. Now, when it comes to your principles and your morals and things like that, you want to never compromise them for anybody. That's when you stick to the script. But when you're approaching someone, when you're being a fisher in this truth, you got to know how to fish. There's different bait for different fish.
Right.
Is it? Y'all fishers in the room?
Okay.
Right? You might need some stinky, smelly bait for one fish, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. I've been fishing maybe once or twice in my life. I'm just saying, I've heard, I'm seasoned enough to know that certain bait is for certain, certain fish like certain things.
No, right.
You get what I'm saying? So you want to be prepared and know what bait is for what, for what type of fish you're trying to catch. And you'll be able to tell that with wisdom. Once you get that wisdom, you'll know, okay, well, this person likes this. Let me start off talking about this, and this. You know what I'm saying? Show them this side. That's why our camp, we have these flyers. We have so many different topics because not everybody's going to jump out on the same topic. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people need eye-catching, my philosophy is I always get them, the Christians, the people who I think are devout Christian churchgoers, something about the Christian church. Now that could backfire because they don't want to read it because they think automatically you're just against their beloved church. But you might shock them and they read a couple, if they really intelligent, they read over why the flyer says what it says, then maybe they'll start to question the Christian church when they go back. Maybe they already have some reserve about the Christian church. They just looking for a reason to not go again. You know what I'm saying? Some people like that, like, man, this is some bullshit, as they should think, right?
Right.
So like, they might be in there like, man, there might be a man in there like, man, this woman keep making me go to this bullshit every Sunday. I'm tired of this shit. Then they pick up our flyer and they read, look, baby, look what the black man said, Look, man, ask the preacher this, and then they preacher can't answer certain questions, and next thing you know, they up out of there.
Right.
You never know. You get what I'm saying? But you want to be seasoned to, be able to be versatile and talk to everybody. And pull that scripture when you got about
Okay. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season,
right,
and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Man, so to everything there is a season, man. There is a purpose for your anger. There's a purpose for you to get loud. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason to get upset. There's a reason to be cool. No, we're gonna get to it. There's a reason for everything. You know what I'm saying? Under the heavens, there's a season. There's a time to, do all of the things that you naturally do, except sin, except go against the law statutes. There's never a season to go out of character with that. But the emotions, the different feelings that you have, there's a reason why you have them. The Lord didn't just make you one way. You know what I'm saying? Where you're just nice all day long. You know what I'm saying? All day long. Imagine if everything was just, you talk to me and you just know you on some BS and I'm just nice all day long. Like, oh yeah, great. Yeah, happy, joy. You know what I mean? Go ahead, finish that.
God, verse 2. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up which is planted.
Fast forward to, not fast forward, so like read down to what we looking for. You know what I mean? Love, hate. You know, the ones that we kill.
Verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate.
Man, this is for the Christians in the world that think you can't hate. Right. Hate is bad. The Most High God said there's a time to love and a time to hate.
Right.
So everybody wanted the ISUPK to show the Purple Rain prosecutors some goddamn love, right? We gave them love by not destroying them. You understand? On sight. So there is a time to love, you know what I'm saying, and a time to hate. When a brother is out to kill you and your whole family, that ain't the time for love. It's the time for war. You understand? You can't love somebody who's trying to kill you in the moment. You'll settle that after you've sorted it out with the appropriate aggression. You understand? You get what I'm saying? Imagine somebody right now coming here shooting bullets. We're going to be like, hold on, wait a minute, let's talk it out. We can't. What is wrong? Are you having a bad day? Right. Man, let's go run and hide and pretend. Pray to God that, you know, that we survive this. Yeah, we're going to pray before this happens. And then guess what? We're going to, Lord willing, he keeps the 45 or a goddamn AR in close reach, just in case. You understand? Because that is the wisdom that the Most High is going to give you. You understand? To be prepared for all matters. If you follow the type of mentality where I just love all day long, then everybody's going to come and do what they want to me. You understand? And I'm going to suffer. You understand? And I'll soon turn my stance eventually. There's some brother out there or sister that just loved everybody, and then they realize, well, God damn, I don't love everybody, and now all of a sudden they don't love anybody. It's because you cannot be one way. You can't sit there and say, well, I love every person until they all let you down. Now you're so against it now. You get what I'm saying? You got so many people like that, right? Y'all met people like that where they just been scorned by something, you know what I'm saying, that makes them bitter. And now everybody that's light-skinned, they hate. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. It might have been a light-skinned person did something to them. Now I can't die. Or your birthday in September or well, January. I hate everybody's birthday in January. You know what I mean? Just foolishness. Because they don't know how to be a judge of people. They don't know when to love, when to hate, when to separate, when to come together. They don't know how to be seasoned with by all men and women. They don't know how to be able to reach and communicate to everybody. So they just go with one way, and then when it goes bad, now they opt all the way the opposite way. I mean, you can't be that way. You know what I'm saying? Some dude look just like you. He did me dirty a long time ago. But guess what? I'm not going. I'm just messing with you. I'm not going. I'm not gonna judge. You know, you for something that he did. Like, well, you know, well, this guy, he looks just like the guy that robbed me or something. You know what I mean? So let me watch him. You know, I'm just messing with you. But the point of the matter is, it's people like that think like that. Our oppressor swears up and down that I don't know where they clutch their purse and all this and that from us. Like we just terrorize them their whole life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's devils that never encountered black people ever in their life in anything negative, but they read it on the news. You know what I'm saying? It's things like that, and then they look at you and be like, hurry up, cross the street. He's coming. Like, you know, hurry up, close the elevator. Don't want to ride in the elevator with you. You look at them like, man, I ain't thinking about you, devil. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a damn about what you got going on in your day or what you got in your wallet or pockets. Like, if anything, I'm thinking I'm better than you. Like, watching I might check my wallet. You know what I'm saying? Before I get off. Like, you ain't stole from me. You stole everything else. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
These people, they don't, you know what I'm saying? Our oppressor, of course, they've done nothing wrong. And we're just the face of crime and everything that's wrong in America. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that's us, right? To them.
Right.
This is why we gain the proper knowledge. We do what's right. We follow the law, statutes, and commandments. That way, when we do get around them, hey man, watch that devil over there. Watch, we on alert.
Right.
We flip the narrative because we know the men with me would never.
Right.
You understand? So watch him. We don't know what he's doing. You understand? He's your enemy. We know who our enemy is. Only way you're gonna know who your enemy is to have the wisdom of the scriptures, man.
Right.
Because our ancestors have had the same goddamn enemy for thousands of years, man, since Christ, before Christ walked the earth. You understand? Right. Since the damn Maccabees, you understand? And some of these nations before that, you understand?
Right.
Have been our enemies since Egypt. You understand? So here's the thing. Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and live and gain the proper knowledge.
That's right.
You had a point?
I was going to add on to what you were saying.
Go ahead, Slack.
How
You want to see me one time?
I had seen a video of this brother. He was out in the UK, so he's a Benjamite brother.
Mhm.
Going, it was late at night, whatever. He was walking home, and he had seen, this Edomite walking. This, it's a female Edomite woman walking as well.
Right.
And as soon as she saw him, she reacted and like tucked tail, started running away. And so he basically wanted to play on that and was like, you know what? He recorded. He's like, I'm full with this bitch. And started chasing after him. He's like, come here. And he finally catches up to her, and she's like scared for her life. He catches up to her. He's like, girl, I want to go mess with you, no how. Like, why are you even tripping about me? You don't know me, I don't know you. Like, get the hell up out of here. Like, this is ridiculous for you to react that way. You don't even know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
What you were saying just made me think of that video. Like, keep it a bucket. It's slick, kind of funny, but at the same time, it was also a reflection on how our, the way that we're treated out here and perceived out here in America, it's the same thing even across the big pond. You know what I'm saying? Just simply because, it's a black man, automatically all white people just assume that, they're unsafe around us. When in reality, I mean, hell, even the United Kingdom was stolen. White people, Salagi, but white people ain't from there either. But, Salagi.
Go ahead, sis.
Salagi, so just to add on to what the officer was saying, they do. They're always clutching their purses and looking at us all strange and everything, except when you go and start checking out the statistics, it's them who are the mass shooters. It's them who, he killed the whole family, left them laying in the living room. He walked, 10 miles and started a whole new life somewhere else. It's always them. They, Jeffrey Dahmer was a them. He was not a us.
Right.
I heard the black serial killers a lot.
And then the one that they actually tried to say was a serial killer. They never really proved it. The one down on the Atlanta child murders. They kept trying to pin that on that brother, and they never did really. But I mean, we don't do stuff like that,
Right, exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing, man. We can get further, we can bring the masses further away from these stigmatisms, you understand, the stereotypes, by teaching our people this knowledge. This is why we have the class. This is why it's imperative that people tune in and get the knowledge and put this knowledge first. You can't just only care about your bills.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
You can't only care about the well-being of your family. You understand? Because your family, people don't understand. Kids do it, and tell me if I'm lying. Them same kids that you won't come to the truth for will be the same damn kids that'll turn their back on you and never look out for you and be quick to put you in a home when you're older. You know what I'm saying? You got some kids that despise their parents. And their parents have given them everything. You got people that's live and die for their fleshly brothers, you know what I'm saying? Or biological brothers and sisters. And them same people will grow up and love their friends. You understand? Before you. And will do more for a stranger than to help their own brothers and sisters. You get what I mean? You got some people that you be loyal to, and you don't even know why you're loyal to them. You're just being loyal just because you were taught love you. You know, I always honor your mother and father. Don't get it twisted. But if your mother and father is teaching you to go against these laws, statutes, and commandments,
Right.
there comes a point in your life where you have to step away from, you understand, that upbringing that you've been brought up your whole life. You understand? That's why you want to learn how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, because you're able to decipher between who has your best interest and who doesn't. We got family members that's in our household that love us, you know what I'm saying, to an extent. But I don't know if your upbringing was anything like mine, where only people that ever really did stuff for me was my mom and my dad. You know what I'm saying, to a certain point. You know what I mean? Aunties and uncles and shit like that. They never, grandmothers, and they was cool. They was nice. But if I needed them, I couldn't go call on them for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's my life. I mean, it's people's stories worse than mine. But I'm just saying my life, mom and dad. That's how aunties and all them was just auntie. They was nice to you, maybe some candy or something, but you couldn't call your auntie in the time of trouble and she stop what she doing for you. You know what I mean? But here's the thing: when you're in this truth, you're gonna have brothers and sisters that don't know you, that wasn't there when you was a baby.
That's right.
It's gonna come through in the clutch. You know why? Because of this right here. Because they're like-minded. They have the same wisdom as you have. You understand? Shalom, shalom. They having the same wisdom. They have the same wisdom that you have. You understand? And they believe in the same things that you believe in. You understand? And they're willing to die for you and ride for you and be there for you because they love you as a brother, because they know at the end of the day, we all we got. It's not going to be a lot of us. When you think of 1/3 and you think of the numbers on how the Lord only deals with a few, you understand? The Lord is not a God of many. He is not the God of everybody on the earth.
Right.
Learning that in itself lets you know, teaches you a world of things about the creator of all things. Just knowing that he chose one nation, the nation of Israel, out of everybody, out of, I believe it's 18 families on the earth, 18 different nations. Yeah, 18 nations on the earth. Out of 18 nations, he chose one to be his people.
Right.
That should scare you into understanding that even within that nation, he's only choosing 1/3 of those people to be saved. Now the question is, where are you gonna fall in those lines?
Right.
You understand? Are you gonna be the 2/3 or the 1/3? And that's solely up to you. You understand? And the topic of this is wisdom.
Okay.
And we're gonna probably end up cutting the video feed in a minute. Because it's getting low, but we'll do it until, you know what I mean. But so the point of the matter is, this wisdom that we're learning, man, don't take it for granted. Take it as a goddamn special oath or a special badge of honor to have the knowledge that you're obtaining. Everybody else in the world, they're taking it for granted. They'll scroll past your feed online. You'll pass them a flyer, they'll look at it and throw it away. You understand? That don't feel as if they're turning you down. They turning the Most High down. You understand? They're going against the Lord, and the Lord, once again, we read in Revelation, he's going to open that book, and he's going to remember everything that you've done, including you balling up that flyer, including you turning your ears against the word of God, man, including you turning your back on the wisdom and knowledge that the Lord is trying to bestow upon us. You understand? We're in a great position, but like we read in these scriptures, man, the Lord wants to know who's going to stand up against evildoers. Just knowing the laws is not gonna get it. You can sit here and I can be the greatest damn Israelite in my house. You understand? Keep every law. But how are you gonna celebrate the Passover? You understand? How are you gonna be willing to die for your brother? How are you gonna practice brotherhood in the house by yourself? You understand? I can love, if I'm giving all my love to everybody, how am I being being an Israelite when I love everybody? How am I being separate? How am I separating between the other nations and my people? If I treat everybody the same, you know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. The point is to be able to use this wisdom to be able to discern between who am I supposed to give my love to and who not to. Who am I supposed to give my loyalty to and who not to? How can I choose a Israelite group, or if you want to say camp or whatever, to follow? And who should I turn my ears off to listen to? Because on the surface, some people say we look alike. We don't. If you really pay attention to the knowledge, we're nothing alike. You understand? It doesn't matter who's liked, who's popular, who has the buildings, who has the money, who has the fame or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. If you know you had to call some brothers, could you call and that's going to protect you and be there and do what the scriptures require? You understand? And that type of love, given like the brother brought out yesterday. You understand? Who's going to love you in the scope of the law, man, within this commandments, not just because you're a cool guy. You understand? You could be I know a lot of cool sinners. You know what I'm saying? That's cool. They're fun people. But when it comes down to who I want to be my brother, who I want to bring my children around, who I could bring my rib around or whatnot, you understand? That's only a few. You understand?
Right.
Who I can bring over to my sister's house. You understand? Everybody can't get in here. You understand? Everybody's not welcome to come sit amongst us. We got to see your pedigree. You understand? We got to know what cloth you cut from before you come amongst us. We'll come to you though. We'll come sit with you and see, and talk to you and, go over the scriptures or, just see what type of brother or sister you is. But you got to be tried and tested, man, to come in these ranks. And the Lord, just like we and the Most High, will spit you out if you're not worthy. And you'll leave on your own. You'll be confounded, and your spirit, it will not be able to stand to the test of what the Most High requires, man. Like I say, when the Most High asks that question, who's going to stand? That's not something you like, oh yeah, I'm ready. And, you got to be sure. You understand? Like the scriptures say, you got to make your election sure. You understand? This is not something for the weak. And this wisdom that we're bringing out in these scriptures is always for you to use and take with you and apply to your every day. You understand? Every day you're going to be faced with something different. You understand? You don't know what your tomorrow is going to bring and how you'll be tested. That test could come in a form of success. It can be the greatest thing you ever thought. Like, man, I'm so successful. You understand? And I have not a worry, in the world. But then your brother and sister is struggling and you just watch them struggle. And the Lord sees that. The Lord sees that you're successful and your brothers and your sisters are not. And you can care less. You understand? And that's a test in itself. Go ahead, sir.
So I can, because Steve Harvey's, his remedy for that, for the success and for helping out the poor, he said it's for him to make sure that his family is never poor. Now, how him making sure his family is never poor is going to help, somebody on the outside. I haven't figured that one out yet. So if I'm hungry, the way to make my hunger go away is for him to make sure that his family is never poor.
Yeah. In his mind, listen, Steve Harvey will be poor for the rest of his life.
He is poor.
You understand? And he is poor, like you said.
He is poor.
These people will be the least in the kingdom. Those with that mentality, like the Most High say, the last will be first,
That's right.
and the first will be last. You understand? We don't worry about the riches of this world. Not like I brought out earlier. Money is a defense. Don't get it twisted. Nobody is telling you to go and stand in some damn bread line for the Lord. Nobody's telling you that.
That's right.
But do not become a Steve Harvey. You understand? His same family that he swears will never be poor will turn against him. Them same children will grow up and dishonor him. You understand? If he fell off tomorrow, his children will be somewhere, doing what they do and can care less. And these people are gonna, in the day of the Lord is saving them. We don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say what his future holds. Maybe Steve Harvey come out of that. I don't know. We pray that all of our people come away from their wickedness. Maybe he needs to watch, a class, get a flyer. Who knows? So we're gonna have to deal with people like that. We can't just cast them off and say, well, man, they're just done, because we don't know. You understand? You don't know who you're gonna impact with the knowledge that you obtain in these classes. That's why it's important to ask the questions, get the knowledge, and fish. You understand? This is the time where we're fishing people in, we're teaching brothers and sisters on how to live their everyday life, so that way that light that you have will never burn out. When you go around your family and your friends and them, and they start noticing that you ain't the same person no more, they're gonna be disgusted. They're gonna be disgusted at first. They're gonna be disgusted, and they may keep it up for a long time. But eventually, the truth will win out.
That's right.
Because they're gonna realize, damn, I gotta respect the fact that you won't fold. You're not gonna weather it back down. People right now don't like me, but the first thing they're gonna say, well, I know he ain't backing down on what his beliefs is. I may ain't raised the same way or understand it, but I know this brother is solid in whatever. That's why they call us a cult, is because we just don't change. We ain't folded. No matter what's thrown our way, we're not bending.
Right.
You understand? And that's the strength that you need to go every day. That's going to be the strength you need to raise up young children, you understand, and teach them. They can't have no weak ass parents or grandparents or whatever you are to them. You understand? Brothers, sisters, you can't be weak. The minute you're weak, they're going to know that you don't believe in what you preach.
Right.
They're going to know that you are not worthy to teach them.
Right.
Because you are weak. You don't believe. You fold in, you'll compromise, you'll allow stuff, they just keep at you. And people have spirits on them that's gonna be relentless.
Yeah.
It's gonna be people around you with a demon on them trying to get you to change. That demon already got them, but that demon is trying to bring on other demons to get you. You understand? But if you're not armored up with this wisdom, then you're gonna fold. If there's a chink in your armor, you're gonna fold. Go ahead with your point.
I was gonna say, sir, just to kind of give a little shout out to my Rid, that's literally what she went through, with her own mother, where constantly she was going, her mother was just nagging on her, trying to basically deter her from, continuing to following his truth, and got to the point where, essentially because she stayed on the path, the Most High pacified her mother, where now it's just like, you know what, I'm leaving her alone. And now her mother, she'll ask questions here and there, but it's nothing like what it was before, where a question was an attack, but now it's just like, okay, I might ask a question just to get an understanding, but you know what I'm saying? So in other words, it's progress, but it also gave her peace because she stayed that path. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And man, that's a great testimony, because our people need to understand, man, weather that storm. This ain't for the weak, man. Just think about everything. Just think about how far we as a people, as a nation, have come. And for you to fall off right now when the knowledge is coming, plentiful, when you got what you looking for, you ain't heard a message as powerful as the message that the Israelites are bringing out.
That's
the
right.
true Israelites. You've
God.
never heard this in your life, that you are the chosen people and that the Most High God has given the earth over to you as long as you shall be obedient and hearken unto his word. You've never heard that in your life. And think you're in the time where you're making it happen. How special you are to be a part of this. How your children, you can just change the narrative of just struggling to grow up. You know what I'm saying? Just become something. You know, you sending your kids to the goddamn military. Just be something. Go to the army. You know what I'm saying? You know how it is. You know of all people, you know. Just doing, and I don't mean to put you out there like that, but I'm just saying, you just want to go do something. You're like, damn, I ain't shit. It's a Salakia, but I'm gonna go, you know, like I'll go serve for the damn my country. You know what I'm saying? Now you can look at yourself like, my life is precious. If I'm gonna give it up, it's gonna be for the Lord. I am not giving it to this wicked ass country. I'm not giving it to a president who's gonna tell my kids to be a goddamn transsexual.
Right.
You understand? I'm not giving it to a government who's gonna murder you on camera. You understand? And hold themselves not guilty.
Right.
They are in court right now fighting against George Floyd, who you watched die at the hands of a goddamn oppressor, man. Who just sat there calmly with his hands in his pocket, murdering somebody, and have the audacity to try to defend himself in court and say he was just doing what the police trained him to do. Even if he was, this is a country that trains its policemen to murder blacks and Hispanics and Native Indians. Just think what we're up against, man. This is the time right now for you to drop what you're doing and get in this truth. If you're not in this truth, you will be left behind. Any and everything can happen to you. You can be the next George Floyd, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice. You understand? Ahmaud Arbery. Who am I forgetting? Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile. Man, there's so many names that we can name off. It's too many. You understand? It's too many. And the point of the matter is to get this wisdom to be able to walk on the side where the Most High is a blessing over everything that you do. You understand? And making sure that if it be a test and if you go through something, it's something that you can handle. I don't know if I can handle a police. And Salaki, if I may, I've envisioned myself being right there and seeing a police officer doing some illegal, trying to kill one of my brothers and sisters. I don't know, that might be a murder. I don't know what they've done. But just seeing something like that, and I ask myself, would I have the courage to just run and push them off of them? And maybe I get shot up. I don't know. Hopefully the Lord with me and I survive. But at least that brother or sister will survive. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right stance to do. I don't know if that's the order that I've been given to do something like that, but I couldn't watch it. I just know I'm not gonna sit there and film. It's nothing wrong with filming, because without the film, it wouldn't even be a case possibly. So I'm not saying, you know, but me knowing what I know, could I just sit back and watch? Definitely not nobody in this school. Definitely not that. They're gonna have to let out the whole clip. You're gonna do. Me and you both gonna be on the floor dead. Whoever, you know, they're gonna go from hopefully attention on you to me, because that's how tyrannical I'll become. But hey, Jake or whatnot in the world, I don't know. You know what I mean? I feel in my mind, I wouldn't watch. I couldn't.
Right.
I would try. I'll probably act like I'm cool and then just go tackle them or something. Not somewhere I get killed and then, you know, maybe take the focus off them and, you know, maybe that'll change the course of action. You know what I mean? Like, you think in your mind, that's what you think about. But I don't know. I just know, I've watched it again, watching the trial, and the lawyer played the video, and I was just like, damn. He said everything from, I can't breathe, they're gonna kill me, mama, you know, all of the things, just watching to just silence. He ain't talking no more. And that guy just sitting there, just looking, stupid.
Right.
Emotionless.
Right.
And this is who we dealing with, man. You had a point? Who had that?
I kind of, yeah.
Go ahead.
So I had two things, if I may. You know, first thing, what you were saying about the whole video camera. I mean, a prime example of what you of that is if you don't even have to say that there was no video. If the quality would have been bad enough, it wouldn't have been enough evidence to prosecute. Because look at I did a class on little 12-year-old boy. I can't think of his name right now.
Tamir Rice?
Tamir Rice, Salaki, with Tamir Rice. You know, they basically got let go. You know, the officers that shot and killed that 12-year-old little boy, you know, they got let go with no federal charges because basically what it boiled down to put it plainly, the video quality wasn't good enough. So to your point, there could still be a video. But if the quality is not good enough, there is no case.
Yeah.
And then on top of the fact, like you said, if there was no video footage, then there really is.
Think
no
about
case.
how many they
You know what
go
I'm
on
saying?
without video footage. What was the other point?
And then the second part, and you know, the young man can also testify as well because my little brother, we grew up with the same uncles and whatnot. You know, for whatever reason, from our mother's side of the family, it's like they don't understand. These devils don't understand the words "I can't breathe." Because every time I hear that, my memory always goes back to when my uncles would sit on my chest and and punch me and do squeeze the hell out of me, whatever. And I'd be sitting there telling them, I'm like, man, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You know what they would tell me?
What?
If you can talk, you can breathe.
That's right.
That's how they feel.
You know what I'm saying? And so what happened with George Floyd, I literally, what goes through my head is, that's literally me with my uncles on top of me. You know what I'm saying? And essentially, it went too far with George Floyd, but essentially that could have happened to myself. That could have happened to my little, that could have happened to the young man at one point because they don't give a damn.
Right.
Now, mind you as well, and I'm done with it. I'm done with it. But mind you as well, none of our other cousins went through that bullshit. It was me and my brother and our cousin Zachary, who's an Israelite. We was the only ones who got picked on like that. When we got if you can talk, you can breathe. Salaki.
That's to be in the same family, and that just goes to show you, man. They don't care who you are. You understand? It doesn't matter to them. You understand? So you had a point.
Salaki, so I was listening to what you were saying, and then thinking back over that George Floyd video, and while that was going on, I was actually I'm crying and screaming, and it's like you're screaming at the TV, but it's like, why don't y'all do something instead of with your telephone? Do something. But the Christian church or philosophy or whatever has made our people so soft and so weak and so afraid that it's like the only defense they have is to take a telephone and you're gonna film it. It's like, but what happened to, we in this thing together. Why nobody could it was 4 cops. It wasn't 500. It was 4 cops and a whole bunch.
Here's the thing about that. I don't blame them because you gotta realize they know what the oppressor will do. You understand? It takes a certain type. I get it because of you think we do all this killing in the hood towards each other and we show no fear when it's us. You get what I'm saying? If it had been a black man that wasn't a cop doing it to somebody or beefing or whatever or something, it's no mercy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody from a rival gang or whatever, you know what I mean? Like the community come against that, or a child molester or something. They get the courage. But when something about that skin color coupled with the badge, it makes it to where our people just, you understand, they just don't have the courage to stand up. They're docile. Yeah, they docile because of what you said, like Christianity teaches you that the Lord, you understand, is a man of forgiveness. And that's the only thing he's known for. That mercy is the Most High's best attribute. However, He is a God of war.
That's what he said.
You understand? And our war isn't physical. It isn't go shoot police or you know what I mean, or go out and hunt our enemies. It's not the time we're living in. But the reason why we preach what we preach is because we train each other how to deal with the police. And if you don't know in this school, you are not to disobey the police. If they tell you get out, not even the laws, but just the police in general, cooperate. Even if it's something that they tell you get on the ground, put your hands behind, whatever it is, just do it. You understand? We'll sort it out with lawyers later. This is where your time money comes in. This is where you understand the money you give to the school matters, because let it be one of our brothers that's in danger. Lord willing, you ain't did the crime. Hopefully you're not selling drugs or doing, you know what I mean, or doing drugs or doing something that, you know, that brings certain things onto yourself. But let's say you are or not, it doesn't matter. Cooperate. Turn yourself in. If you're a man of the Lord and you made a mistake and you was a drug user or whatever, and you regressed, well then you know, all right, well in court, you might sit down for a while. Because you know, hey, Salakia, sir, I was in the wrong. I was doing this and that. And you're going to man up and you're going to do your time. I'm not saying that you should, because they're wicked and they don't have the right to judge you. You understand? Because they're unrighteous and they're wicked. They're the drug dealers, the biggest drug dealers. So, but the point of the matter is, let's say you are a young man or true, whatever, officer, whatever. As an officer, you should know better. You shouldn't be involved in anything that's going to get you, you know what I'm saying, locked up or bring on some police encounter. But as we know in America, you could be doing nothing and still encounter the police. They're trying to slander George Floyd right now and say, well, he had drugs in his system. It doesn't matter.
Right.
But the point of the matter is what I'm saying to you, the brothers and sisters in here, we know to not be involved in any drug activity. So that way, when we cry unto the Most High for the wickedness that is being done upon us, we know that we were completely innocent.
Right.
You understand? We didn't do anything. We was obedient to our laws, their laws. They're just wicked people.
Right.
You understand? And they have no justification.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that because we don't break laws that we're not going to encounter a police officer that wants to kill you. But here's how we're going to handle it. Okay, officer, we know this is their kingdom. Average person out there think, I'm an American. You don't have a right to do that to me. What do you mean? I didn't do anything. This is illegal. We know that they will break the laws. This is where wisdom comes into play. Because you know the people you're dealing with is, you know what I'm saying? They're wicked. They can kill you. You understand? And Salakia, this broadcast is about to end, so before it ends, we're going to